Hi, ladies. You're welcome to today's Ladies View.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
How was your day today?
Not too bad. How about
Oh
yours,
my God,
Juliet?
it was awesome. How about you, Jenny?
It was good. It was great.
Awesome.
That's
Enjoyed it.
beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's
Yes.
beautiful. All right, not wasting our time, we're going to look into work-life balance. What work-life balance is all about is also balancing our work with our daily life, family, school. For those of us in school, and even other social life, church ministries, whatever you do, to be relevant out there. You don't need to focus on work alone, letting other aspect of life suffer. You have to be relevant in all that. So how are you going to do that? That's what we're going to dive into today to discuss about. So I have these awesome ladies here to share in.
First, my name is Dr. Jeanette Bekali from this great, beautiful city of Fort Worth. And I am a doctor of pharmacies. I have two beautiful kids and a beautiful, handsome husband. And I'm here to inspire. Ladies,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
a lady just like you. We
Oh.
want to inspire the world.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
That's why we are.
That's beautiful.
That's why we call ourselves.
Oh, my name is Juliet Adiyemo. So, I guess many people would have known me. I don't know.
We know you for sure. We know you.
So yeah, like she said, I also live here in Fort Worth, and I've been in the business of taking care of humanity. So don't just keep it short like that, okay? So
This lady of substance. Trying to reserve some for later. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just tell.
So I am Janet. Oh, we're gonna keep it as that.
all
Yes.
Some more to reveal.
Janet O. I too am
Okay.
a Fort Worth resident, and I'm actually a divorcee. So I hope I bring a lot to the table. And we'll leave it at that for now.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, the first one
Yeah.
we're going to look at is balancing work and home duties. As a
Yes.
woman, as a lady, how do you balance your work and balance your life?
Yeah.
Balance both the social life, personal life, and everything. How do you do that?
Work-life
And
balance.
also, work to make dollar, pay your bills,
Right.
Yes. Wow.
and take care of your kids.
That's a great topic, yo.
Yes.
That's a
Yeah.
great topic. How
Yes.
do you balance your work life, your school life, your student life, your personal life with everything else? Family, loved ones, children, husbands.
Right.
So that's why we're here today. Today
Yes.
we're going to talk into that. We're going to look into that. We're going to share some ideas. And
Who want to go first? Jenny?
I can speak on that. So, work-life balance is definitely important. It's what keeps us sane, if you will. It's what kind of keeps us balanced to some degree. Clearly we have our families, our loved ones, our children, and then you have work, which clearly we need work to, pay for our conveniences and our bills and allow us to afford, our trips and whatnot. So, you have to balance
The
it out.
beautiful vacation.
Yes, when you go on vacation, you thank work for that, for paying that vacation, But work-life balance is huge because you can't just be all about work, nor can you only be about your children or only be about your husband or your partner. So I feel like, as females, as ladies, we do tend to have to juggle life. We do tend to have to wear many hats, if you will. For me, I work in public service, so it's very demanding. And it's shift work based, where I'm on call or we work a lot of 12-hour shifts. And, because of that, I have to remind myself to separate from work when I go home. If I'm away from work, I try to just forget about work and leave work at work, literally, because if I bring it home, it could be a stressor on my relationship at home. It could be a stressor with my kids, So we have to be cognizant. For me, I have to be intentional and cognizant of literally separating work and school and my personal life, if you will. There's a time and place for everything. You have to kind of compartmentalize everything. So for me, that's huge. It's a huge factor. You can't be, putting 100% into one aspect of life.
Yeah.
Our lives are very.
That suffer.
Yeah, right. If you put too much into one aspect, the other parts suffer. Exactly. So you have to kind of balance it out. See what works for you in your home, But for me, that's a huge factor, and I'm a big advocate of that.
Okay.
I agree.
Wow, that's beautiful. I
Yeah.
like the part where you say you have to leave everything you got.
Leave
you did
work
at work,
at
leave
work.
it at work
Literally.
before you get home.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
if you carry all that to the house becomes work.
Yeah.
I like that, Jen. That's a great idea. And to me, it matters more importantly for the kid. When we think about raising this kid, we want to make time for them. So if you're not able to differentiate that your work versus when you're home, sometimes you get frustrated at these children when you're home with them from work to the house. And also, sometimes we think about working, and we forget that we're raising children. Statistics has shown that kids from 0 to 10 learn more. They capture and keep those values parents teach them versus when they 10, 11 and above. They don't want to hear anything from you. So if you really want to raise your kids, you want to make time for them. If you're not teaching them those values, those right values that you want them to learn, they're going to learn them somewhere. They're going to learn them from school. They're going to learn them from other people out there. The people they spend more time with, those are the people they're going to learn more from. So you want to make time for them. As far as working is important, making money is important, but if you choose that you really want to raise these kids properly, you have to balance it up so that you can also differentiate when it comes to coming home and being with your kids and teaching them all those values, as far as also going to work and doing your best, right?
Yeah.
Right, Juliet?
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you. Yeah. Also, I want to chip in addition to what you've said, want to bring in work-life balance, also focusing your own personal health. Self-care is another area.
Yes.
So when you're working so much and you're neglecting your own self, man, you have to live today to be able to face tomorrow.
Yes.
So if you exhaust yourself working tirelessly, not concentrating, not minding or allocating time for yourself is a lot. You know, studies have given us some certain recommendations on what to do. You have to take some time out, take a break, know when to have your time management, when to do certain things, and also make out time for yourself. Also your physical health, you have to like engage in exercise regularly as you can. Even if you don't want to run a marathon, you can actually take a walk in the evenings, or you walk your dog. You know, it's part of it. And also you do mental health is also part of it, because work, all those stress boil down in the mind.
Yes.
And if you don't take care of it, this is mental breakdown, stress leads up to burnout and all that, which will stress yourself. So we recommend also that you do periodic mental health check. And give yourself a timeout. All these things will, once you take care of all these areas, it will help you balance your work and your life and your every other aspect of it.
Aspects of your life.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's why, I totally agree with you both, and that's why we feel like that's a great topic. That's something everybody should be thinking about. If you work and you also have family and you also have yourself and you have your spouse and you have your pet, find time to make time with them, to spend time with them also, so that you can balance it up and make both of that important, right?
Because if you don't, if you keep, if you leave your children or your family in the hands of the strangers, like the daycare or sitter or all these people, they will teach them moral that you maybe their own way of life, which is not what you want. They will have more influence on the child. Trust me, here in America, this is one of the things we battle a lot. So I know that it's very difficult, but it is also possible that we balance all these areas.
It's doable, right?
Yes, it's very, very doable. We're all doing it.
We are, right?
We are looking good. So it's doable.
Work-life balance, compartmentalize your life. Keep work at work. Focus on the children. Focus on your partner, your spouse.
And yourself.
And yourself, definitely. Self-care, self-love.
Thank you.
Self-care, self-love.
Thank you for listening. And I hope you put it into action.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the Ladies' View
of Royalty.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.